Good morning. I wanted to welcome everyone to our brand new YouTube channel. I'm so happy you found us and you decided to join in and just see what we're all about today. I really appreciate it. My name is Lori and I am from Midstate515 Resellers. We're a small family business that's comprised pretty much of myself, my husband, and one of our boys, Nicholas. We have only really been in this business seriously for the past maybe year and a half. In 2021, I decided to retire from my professional career in healthcare. And then in 2022, I worked part-time, interestingly enough, at a thrift store. And we started dabbling in the world of reselling and determined that, you know what, maybe we could start a business doing this and be fairly successful. So in 2023, I decided to quit that part-time position and focus full-time on this reselling business. It's been a lot of trial and error on our part. We have watched numerous YouTube videos on the topic, and I guess the biggest takeaway that I have found in all of that is what works for one does not necessarily work for another. There's a lot of great business models and business plans out there that you can, pick from. But I have found that it's really best to try and find your own niche. And again, you don't want to necessarily reinvent the wheel, but you have to be honest, what works for one may not necessarily work for everybody. So during this 6 months process, I'm now kind of honing in on those skills and trying to master, for lack of better words, the world of reselling, at least to the best of my ability. And in doing so, we decided to launch this YouTube channel because we are fairly new in this endeavor, and there's a lot of successful resellers out there online, and I highly commend them, but there's not a lot of, okay, well, how do you get started? I mean, what does this look like from start to finish? So that is why we're here. We're hoping maybe to provide you a little insight into the very early stages of reselling, if in fact it is something you decide that you may want to pursue on your own. So I'm here in the Midwest. I am working out of my basement at the moment, and so far it's working really well. In fact, I don't necessarily refer to it as the basement anymore. It has kind of been dubbed my studio because it's nicer to say, hey, I'm going to the studio than I'm going down to the basement. But that, again, has been an adjustment for our family life. We've had to, utilize and maximize all the space, extra space we can find, from our basement to spare bedrooms and so forth. So this has really become a big part of our life, and I think at this point in time we're fairly invested in it. So I'm very optimistic of where this journey is going to take us, and I'd like to share that with you. Just as I said, if it's something that you're considering doing, this is what it looks like raw, on the daily, just learning something new. I never ever considered that I would be a reseller in any way, shape, or form. So this is literally a brand new way of thinking for me, and a lot of learning. And again, I'm very grateful for all of those professionals out there that did provide insight and keys to their success. And maybe I can help you through your journey as well, kind of show you the behind the scenes perhaps on what it took to get there, possibly. Everyone's journey is different, of course, but you don't start out day one saying, hey, I'm going to retire from my full-time job and give this a go. It is a gradual process, and as I said, it's a huge learning curve, and I'm just trying to share that with you. Again, keeping it real from America's heartland. We're just working day by day and honing in on those skills, like I said, to try to you put so much time and effort and money into a new endeavor, and you want to do all you can to see it come to fruition and become successful. So I'm going to share some of the little tips that we've done, or some of the things that we have tried and said, oh, that did not work well for us, and here's why. So I'm going to be very open and very candid. You'll find with me, I'm what you see is what you get. So very infrequently are you going to see hair and makeup and all of that kind of thing, simply because if I had to do all of that before I created a first video, I would never get a video done. So we're just going to kind of walk through this journey together, and I'm grateful that you decided to join us today. So I'm going to give you a real quick tour of my studio. Okay, everyone, here's looking into my basement studio. I will pan left here first. This is my workstation, my computer set up there, my scale, everything that I need to do to actually create a draft and put together a listing. What you will certainly see front and center here is my big flat lay board. My husband and my son actually made this for me, and it works wonderfully because I can really zoom in and get a lot of detail. So this flat board has worked great for us. It's a huge size. I can actually get formal dresses on there and actually be able to show it full length, which is very nice. We have some really nice lights that we purchased here. These really illuminate the garment well. I'm very fortunate to be able to have such lights. We also have some track lighting in on the ceiling where I can adjust light accordingly. In addition to the flat board, I have a table over here. This is where most of my measuring happens. I know a lot of people use yardsticks, but that doesn't really work well for me, so I just stick with, the standard fabric measuring tape. It just really allows me to get close-ups and a little bit more accurate measurements, in my opinion. Along this wall, we have a portion of our inventory system. You will see it's alphanumeric. It's a bit of a hybrid. Again, I'm watching those YouTube videos. A lot of people either use the bin system or like a numbering system. Ours is both, and it seems to work well because inside the box, of course, is all the items, and they each have their individual SKU. But it makes it nice when an item sells. We know exactly what box to go to and grab it fairly quickly, as opposed to, numerically trying to find it in a whole list of, or a whole row of other material. So we use this a lot, and it's worked well for us. I'll get more into our inventory system as we go along here. Another advantage to the boxes is when they become light, I can feel them, so I can just refill them, and again, maximize some space. Back here, it looks kind of a mess, but really it's not. It's organized chaos. I have boxes of inventory. A lot of people refer to this as the death pile. I do not, because it will certainly all be processed. What I do when I get inventory is I separate it from fall, winter, and spring, summer, and I will put them in a box accordingly and also write the cost that I paid per item on the box. That just kind of helps me to establish my pricing. So right now, obviously, since it is summer in the Midwest, I am working on summer clothing. So I probably have 8 boxes of fall, winter that I will start processing. So just a quick snapshot of my studio. I love it, and again, I'm very fortunate to be able to share it with you. So during the course of us getting to know each other here, I please want to encourage you for feedback. If I'm misstating anything, or if there's ways that I haven't thought of that could be improved upon, certainly share that information with me, because I'm hoping this is a mutually beneficial relationship here. Maybe you can learn a little bit something from me, and I'm always open to learning more information from you guys, so please share. Again, background for me is primarily healthcare. My husband works in IT. He still does this kind of on a part-time basis, so to speak. He helps with the shipping and so forth, most often in the evenings and on weekends. He's also kind of my IT guy. He creates various spreadsheets that we have found hugely useful. I know a lot of people have their own system out there, and it works well for them, I'm sure, but Rich has just kind of fine-tuned it a little bit to capture the information that we're looking for. Everything from what we pay in shipping, what we get for free returns, what that looks like, our profit loss analysis, all that kind of stuff. Really grateful that he has that mind where he's able to come up with those spreadsheets, because that's something that I would really not be able to do. And then our son Nicholas, we actually have 3 boys. We have Christopher, Nicholas, and Brandon. Nick is the middle child. He is very, very smart and intelligent. He knows all things computer related as well. So he's going to actually help me with some of these videos, because even that is new to me. I've never ever even considered or thought of putting together a YouTube video, or what that process is even like. So I've solicited his help on that, and he's very gracious and has helped his mom a lot along this journey. So that's just a quick snapshot of who we are as a family. My other 2 boys are independent, doing their own thing of business, but we still come together and brainstorm ideas, because at the end of the day it kind of affects us all. But I'm grateful to have such a supportive family. I think that's another I guess blessing that I have, is while I am dabbling and working in this business to try to establish it into a career, I do have a husband that still works full-time and is able to more or less pay the bills, so to speak. I did learn, and one of the reasons why I did retire from the thrift store last year is we can earn a living here. I'm certainly earning enough to make up for any salary I was getting in a part-time thrift store position. But that, and it's also just fun learning. There's a lot that goes into reselling, and we will hopefully touch on a lot of those key topics and kind of break them down in more bite-sized pieces as we go along, because as I learn, I'm just going to share with you guys. But before I go, I want to ask you, as a new mom working from home, well, not necessarily new mom, new old mom working from home, distractions. If any of you guys have any insight or ideas on help eliminate some of those distractions, please let me know. At the end of this video, I have a little clip for you. I'll give you a snapshot of what I mean there when it comes to distractions. Hopefully you'll find it a little entertaining too. And thank you for listening today, and please tune in next time. And if you have any feedback, please share that in the comments. I do greatly appreciate it. Thanks, guys. So one thing I've had to learn and get used to with my new venture of working from home is daily distractions, one of which is recurring. It literally happens every single day, and it's a little exchange between one of my boys and I. Truly, it is a bonding moment, but it's also quite comical. Nonetheless, I do have to chalk it up as a distraction, and I'm going to share that with you here in a few moments, because it's very predictable. In about 1 minute, my son is going to come stomping down the stairs and will ask me a question. So we will see if it holds true, and he will not fail me today. So let's wait and see. Son,
where's my undies?
where's your what?
My undies.
Where are your undies always? I'm wearing your undies. You better hurry up. Did you find your undies?
Yeah.
I said Nick already left you because you're late. I have to drive you now.
Sorry.
Yeah. Story of my life right here. Said, keeping it real. This is as real as it gets.